Finally, I got it. This is one of the best VHS box sets out there. It's where cinematic royalty meets VCH Bliss. Look at that thing. One of the things I like about it is that it's just very neutral in colors and very uniform, very relaxing. Looks good on the shelves. And just so you know, this is 14 VHS cassettes in a box set. And it's hard to find a good shape because, for one, it's so big, it's easy to get scuffed. These were released in 1999, so it's 26 years old. So this, I didn't clean it yet. I wanted to show you how I do it. And if you look carefully, it's in pretty good shape. The birds has a little bit of a ding there. Mostly pretty good, clean. And then the corner one, Vertigo, got slammed, and that's a little bad. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and show you this Vertigo. I have this brand new Vertigo, and it's the same print. Now, they did the box set, and they also sold these individually. Now, what I noticed when I was practicing to do the show, that this has a little rip, a little tear right there. So other than that, this one's brand new. So as I upgrade this one's going to come out because of the damage here, and this one's going to go in. Now, I have to be careful. If I just keep shoving this in and out, this is going to start flaking and peel off, and then this is better if this starts getting ripped. So what I'm going to do, and what you don't want to do is put a piece of tape or glue or anything. Don't put any foreign substance on these. The best thing to do is when I get this all cleaned out and trade out the good ones for the bad ones, this is going to long-term storage once I clean it up. So I'm just going to put this one to the side. Now, here's what they were doing. They were selling them individually. You get a rebate. You buy two, you buy one, you get $3. You buy, there it is. If you buy two, you get $3 off. If you buy three, you get $5 off. And the expiration date is 1999. So that, that's a while back. So there's all of them. So the box set is the one I've been waiting for. And let me just put this to the side for a second. Now here's the ones that were teasing me. I had all these, but no box. So Shadow of a Doubt is new. So that's going to go in the box because it's going to be new. Family Plot. So these all been wiped and cleaned, and they're barely touched. Look at that. They're barely touched. So these are the singles. The Trouble with Harry. Most people have not seen this movie. That's one I always suggest at the Hitchcock one no one saw, or very few people saw. It's in the vein of Weekend at Bernie's. So we did, during Hunker Down a few years back, we did all of them. We did all the Breaking Bads. We did all the Walking Dead. We did all the Hitchcocks. Man, we were locked up for a while. So anyway, back to this. Knowing I had these and this was out there, that was a killer. And you can't have a wish list doing what I do. When you go to an estate sale, you have to just see what's there and take what you think is the best. There's no rules in secondhand. So when I went to my local boys to at a swap meet, and I was walking on, I was greeting them, hey, how's it going? I'm thinking, man, they got a lot of stuff. What do they buy storage? They do Storage Wars, not the show, but they go and buy storage like the show. And all of a sudden they'll appear with all kinds of stuff. So they're laughing, they're kind of smirking at me, and they're kind of, elbowing each other. Like, what's going on? I'm saying, hi, what are they doing? And I noticed it from across. Before I even got to there, I noticed the box. I'm like, wait, is that it? Is that it? I went straight to it and said, oh, how much for this? And he said $10. Like, oh, you done? $10? Are you kidding? I did it, pulled the trigger. So now let's go through it. So I need some room here. So the sign, this is going to go for the first time ever. Let me put this down, see what we got here. My microfiber's my best friend. Now, the best way to empty these, not try and finger them, let gravity do the work. Yeah, so this is the best way to empty this. Oh, and that's beautiful. Look at that. A little dust still, of course, swap meet, storage. So let me just set these to the side, just right there. Now, when you look at a box set, there's three things you want to look at. First, if it's new or if it's really new. If it's really new, sometimes they shrink wrap them with the food saver. But if it's really new, then it has this, the watermarks. Well, that bled through. It was on the cellophane, but it went all the way through, and it's on the box. So I'm just cutting this out so you could see it, but clearly you could see it better on the box. So this is what I'm going to do. I have my surgical scissors at the other location. You know that story. I'm trying to get everything in one place. So I'm going to gently peel this off. You just don't know what you're going to find. A lot of dust. I'm not sure. Look at maybe some growth. But you got to just be careful. So it was already open. So I'm taking this off because it's just tattered and dirty. And it's holding in the junk. And you want the junk removed. So this microfiber has just a couple of drops, just a little bit of water. It depends on, my lady once said, how come sometimes you just put 2 drops of water and sometimes you drench it? Because it depends on what you're wiping down. If it's totally dirty and grimy and greasy and dusty, you need a lot of water. But with this, you don't need much. Most of this dust is just surface dust. Anyway, Hitchcock, he made a lot of good movies. The Birds. If you haven't seen, most of you, and I respect a lot of film fans watching this. So The Birds, Psycho was one. That's not one of my favorites. I like Vertigo, The Trouble with Harry, and I'm just gonna do a gentle wipe. I may do this completely again. Oh, see, it's so tall I can't even wipe it. So just to get the first layer off, I'll go back. And even when I stop for a while, let's say I'm watching football or something, or go have lunch, I'll come back and say, oh, I missed a spot. And just gently keep increasing each layers of getting better and better. Like most things, the small steps lead to something big. It's a small step. Oh, quick wipe, second wipe, third wipe. And then in a few years, I'll wow, look at this, and revamp it and just make sure, just the general dust. But and the good stuff I have in very small, non-dusty rooms, and I do that on purpose. So I'm just going to clean the inside real quick here, and then we'll start going to the movies. Okay, so the 3 things you want to look at, or if it's new with watermarks or not, that's a main factor of condition. The second is the box. How does the box look? And the third is the actual content. So those are the 3 things you want to look at. So this is $19.99. There it is. All right, let's go through these. Now, I haven't really I just glanced at these while at the swap meet. And that's rewound. That's super clean. I'm not even going to dust these right now because I'm already taking too much of your time. And I just want to show you, this is the best box set. The Birds. And what I'm really looking for, and I'm not telling you, is if there's cards or labels or brochures or anything extra. Now, clearly it was open, and it didn't look like these were watched too much. And, here's a little secret. You want to know how you can tell it's been watched a lot or not? Look at that. Is it the tape flat or rigid? It's hard to tell with the reflection, but it's a little, at the end, it's a little lumpy. But if it's smooth all the way across, that's hardly been watched. I got to clean a little bit. Let's just keep going. Okay, they're all rewind. This one could be rewind a little more. So I'm going to go ahead and pack the tapes, which means I put them in the VCR. I go all the way, fast forward to the end, and then rewind. That way you get rid of all the loose tape. That's actually a studio method they use. When you used to watch Gilligan's Island, it was on videotape. There was no digital yet. So the studios were putting on, they have the bigger tapes. Their tapes are much more professional, much bigger. Bingo! Here's one, which I already showed you, which I got from the other box. Now, I'm just going to pull these out to the side for now. And that might be one per box, so that might be the one. Psycho, of course, this is one of the good ones here. Really creepy. Oh, Torn Curtain. Man, we watched all these. All one a day for 2 weeks. We have other ones too that aren't even in this box set. Topaz. Rope was the one that got me because I already saw half of these, and Yeah, this one too. There she is again. She's in the birds. The Trouble with Harry. This is one I like. And it's very young. Shirley MacLaine. Very young. That's her right there. Look at that. Talking about young Shirley MacLaine. It's her first breakout role right there. Yeah, that one. And Vertigo, of course. That's one that's popular. So, I was going to clean them all in front of you, but it's just going to take too long. So let's just go back to this one right here. Now, I have a new rope. So the other rope might go. But for now, I'm going to keep track of what... Yeah, this is going to go in here instead, like that. I'm going to keep track of which ones I pull out, just in case there's any difference, because I want to keep it original. Now, The Trouble with Harry, I have 3 copies. That one looks good enough after I wipe it. I'm just going to keep that there. Just so I could say this is all original, except I traded out the new ones. And then here's the one we were talking about earlier. I got crushed by the box. Look at that. There's Vertigo. Now, I have a Vertigo here. That's going to go in. But remember, it's got that little tear. But this one clearly is better. And I'm never going to watch these. I have all these on DVD. And speaking of DVDs, Hitchcock has so much distribution. He's been around so long. He's gave the rights to so many people. Here's 2 DVDs. Here's an example of a killer distribution. Crichton Collection. They do it. They revamp everything. The digital upgrading. Look at that. Digital film and sound restorations. And they do so much more. Plus this, they have rare production notes, trailers. They separate the sound, isolate music and sound effects track to enhance it. So this is really the kind of a good distribution. So that's a whole story. That's a whole show. That's about 50 shows right there, Crichton Collection. And here's the brochure right here. And I did notice this is what they're releasing. They release some every year. And look at one of the older Hitchcocks is there. I mean, there's so many. Fellini. I mean, so many. Jonathan Demme and all the old guys and new guys. But then Fritz Lang, Peter Weir, Laurence Olivier. So this is not a Criterion, but there's another Hitchcock, 39 Steps. These are the older ones. So that comes with the, and then inside they have a lot of extra notes too. Usually, some of them are really booklets, really. So, and then this is a distribution on DVD that's not as polished. First of all, it's all the older stuff. And this is from the 20s. The 1920s. This is old. This is all the stuff. And it's not as good. It's all black and white. It's just not as polished as the Birds, let's say. But this is a pretty clean box. And it's 3 DVDs with 9 movies. Now, the reason why I say it's poor distribution is because it's in a box that holds 4. So they didn't even, they just, oh, yeah, that's fine. And that's fine. That's not what Criterion says. That's fine. They upgrade everything. So there's 3 movies on 1 disc. So that's kind of cramming that in there. And most of them are close to, over an hour and a half each. So the digital content on each disc may not, be as high quality as it could. Now, and this year, this distribution, I have about 20 of these with the foam. In case it gets loose. Go back and watch a loose disc episode. Then you know what I'm talking about. So even if it got loose, it won't get ruined because it's supported by the foam. So, I make stacks for my shows, and it's like, do I make a stack of foam? I'm not sure. So there's 2 of those. I just got sidetracked a little bit, show you what's going on. Okay, so now you get everything. Hitchcock, VHS. I got extra ones that made it better. I'm going to clean them all up and see what's going on. Like I said, as soon as I'm done cleaning and wiping, it's going to go to long-term storage, and it's never going to be touched. And in 20 years, I'll see if I did the right thing or not. But this is a good place to start. So if you ever get a VHS box set in your collection, as far as content, the number in the box, the design, cinematic royalty meets VHS bliss, Sagala out. Have a wonderful day.